Today, I'm very delighted to welcome Roula Saleh. I see her as somebody who can bring the mental and physical wellness, especially for women. Understanding mind, movement, and well being is her expertise. So, today we want to explore more on that side through the lens of self development, discipline, and understanding yourself. So, let's welcome Rolla.
Hi, Ayesha. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be part of this interview with you today.
Let's talk, deep dive, and let's have some sharing between our life, our story, and our learning so that we can connect the dot. And I hope that will also help our audience to understand through the lens of their story and understanding how they can also take action to live a better life. So I want to start with the quote from you. You said, I didn't rise because life became easier. I rose the moment I stopped waiting and choose to stand on my own. So tell us about that because I know your title of your chapter is Standing on My Own.
Yeah. My chapter and this quote actually it really reflects a lot about the journey maybe that I wanted to share with the readers. So I do believe in growth, and growth happens the moment we stop waiting for any permissions. So the biggest breakthroughs happens when you really decide to trust yourself, and you don't really need to wait for any permissions from anyone.
Mhm.
So that's what basically took me for writing this chapter specifically.
And when I was reading, honestly, you said, I was taking a pause, I was having a moment, and understanding on that moment is a kind of like light bulb moment or self-realization or kind of like breakthrough. So I'm very curious, like, did you know that you'll have that breakthrough, or did you have any, sense of self-awareness that it's not working for some period of time, and then suddenly you realize that, yeah, it doesn't work anymore? Or is any platform from where your thoughts started to develop?
I can highlight that learning from disappointments is something like very hard to learn from, but that's basically maybe the platform that I really learned from. Because the hardest moments aren't failures, they are just like seasons where everything you really believed about yourself is being questioned. And those moments like really taught me a lot of resilience, a lot of patience, and a lot of self-worth, I can say. So yeah, it's just maybe rebuilding after so many disappointments was the reason.
Yeah, I like the word you said, disappointment, because it's a negative emotion that you are experiencing. And I can see that you saw the light on the other side. When we experience something negative, we have two choice. Either we want to stay longer with that negative feeling and analyzing that negative feelings, or we can just bounce forward and start thinking, what are the other side waiting for me? So my question will be, is there is any particular practice or you in your lifestyle that helped you to do that? Because it takes a lot of not physical but more mental strength and courage, and
Mm.
having that feeling like, yes, I can do this. This is the moment I have to bounce. So how did you get those element of your mental courage and stability and strength?
I can answer it basically in very simple in one word. That was purpose. Specifically purpose, because there were days when motivation was not there, but purpose was for me. Like, this is my personal experience. Like, knowing that my work could positively impact someone else's life gave me the strength to keep moving forward. At the same time, from my own lifestyle, it's movement. Movement and fitness was a great strength, I can say, that kept me really moving. It disconnects me from all the chaos. It gives me back. It doesn't take from me, it really gives me back. So I would say, like, yeah, it was just finding my purpose to keep myself going on.
Beautiful. And when you have a purpose, but you don't trust, then there is a gap, right? I know my purpose, but I don't trust that whether I can carry this forward or not. How did you start trusting yourself?
It's very simple. It's just the minute I started thinking about self worth and knowing self worth is not something that you earn through achievements only. So it's something you start to recognize. So mainly confidence grew when I consistently kept really promising myself and belonging, like essentially belong. So this belonging starts when I really stopped trying to fit into places that require me only to become someone else and finding my self worth. So that was like the path I really followed throughout my journey. It wasn't easy, to be very honest with you. It wasn't easy at all. But those questions kept going on in my head. And, you know, we have emotions, we have a lot of ups and downs throughout life. But yeah, that was like really self worth. I don't need to fit in places. I don't require to become someone else. I really need to be only me, myself, the way I am, and do what I like. So that was movement as well that kept me going.
I can sense three things. Number one, movement that you said, like which is physical movement, and you
Yeah.
said like that has got some sort of influence to make you physically also feel that I have that purpose in me and I have that strength in me to carry the purpose. And I also
Mm-hmm.
observe that you are doing something like continuously navigating or analyzing or monitoring what you're learning, what you're not learning, what you're growing through the direction. So I want to know a little bit about your, the continuous process. Like, how do you suggest somebody to stay consistent with having the continuous progress or continuous self-development mindset?
Believing in yourself. I think some characters and some personalities are very different. And then when we meet and when we get to know other people, it's not that we keep it at the end, but believing in self is something maybe sometimes you read it on titles or in books or you hear about it in any discussion. But most people like really do not put it as a target. So that's like another thing worth thinking about is that do I really believe in myself? And you need to start experiencing how do you believe in yourself? Like what does it mean?
Mhm.
Building, you need to start like really building something from the ground up and starting your own, let's say, maybe you have a business you want to work on, maybe you have any education you want to really like continue. Um, you need to like you need to have some initiatives and stepping like stepping into uncertainty, but you really need to look to that growth. It does live outside of your comfort zone. So I believe it's just believing in yourself, getting out of your comfort zone, and have this self talk that you are worth doing what you really need and find your purpose.
I love that. Like having a belief and then taking action, and that will lead you to see that you have the self-worth and rephrase and telling yourself. We often talk very badly to ourselves. We talk very nicely to other people. If we're listening to the self-talk, then we'll say, oh, is it how I talk to myself? So we are very judgmental to ourselves more often. Like you suggest not to use that so that you can sustain with your purpose and your belief.
Exactly. We sometimes, like, even like some people would normalize this negative self-talk, like it becomes as something normal to them. And I mean, why can't we think about it in a different way? Like consistency as well, even in your thoughts. It's not only in movement or committing to a diet or like committing to fitness programs or moving. It's also like between you and yourself. I really believe you need to be consistent in your thoughts as well.
And sometimes I feel it's out of control, right? Only when, like, if you have a tangible thing to do, like I will go to gym for 3 days a week, then you know which are the 3 days, which hours will be working out for your body. So you have a tangible way to monitor. But it's very difficult to monitor what you're thinking because you don't know when the thought came up and you don't have any tangible discipline to build the mental processing that you're doing. So, do you want to suggest a little bit on that side, like how to discipline our thought process? Because I know you work on psychologies and you will be able to shed some light on that side as well.
Yeah. Um, in general, I can say none of us can be completely ready. Like anything new that comes into your thought or to your life, we are never gonna be feeling completely ready. But there is a very important thing is confidence. The confidence in is built after you take like the first step, not before the first step. It's also linked to the experience. So some people really promise themselves, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go attend 3 days, and then they stop. Again, I go back to the self worth. Again, I go back to believing in yourself, achieving your goals, setting them up, like, and be very serious about them. And also, the circle that we really put ourselves in affects our thoughts.
Yes.
As you see, we always hear it. Surround yourself with people who can lift you up, surround your people who can bring the best out of you. So, this also applies into, I think, self confidence and self talk and to our thoughts, our own thoughts, because it is really contagious. Like whoever we are surrounded with
Mhm.
really affects our thoughts, and sharing the experiences as well, and the motivation. If you really need to do any change, it's your people will put you down or they will really take you a mile forward. Yeah, I think it's also the circle and who are we talking to, the audience and the people we are dealing with on daily basis does make a big difference on our thoughts.
100%. Like, if how do you deal with the situation where you have your family member who are continuously talking negative? And yes, we can choose the surrounding, but it's very difficult to avoid the family members. So, what could be the point from your
Mm.
understanding to and get rid of being absorbing what they're saying, which is killing the self-confidence in me?
Mm. Okay, so now our main point is our self-confidence, right? So it doesn't matter who is the person we are dealing with, whether it's a family member or whether it's not a family member. As long as you have shed the light on your focus and on the target and what you want to achieve exactly, I think you really need to close your ears and your eyes around the chaos that comes and distracts you. So, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, whether it's a colleague, just tell yourself, let them do what they need to do, let them talk whatever they want to talk, as long as it does not pull you down and you know that you are really building up the core of your thoughts very deeply inside of you, that will never ever affect you, like a word that will be said. So you need really this shield, to build this shield around you to protect yourself. So protection and safety are very different. When you need really to protect yourself, it needs a process. You need to process it. It's going to be hard at the beginning because it's a family member. But once you really let it out and think, okay, these are all the same. These are, I'm being told the same from a family member or from a stranger, it's a negative thought, it's a negative word. So you really need to work hard on building up this shield around you to protect yourself, and then by the end of this protection you have to feel safe within yourself.
Mhm.
So this comes from within you, I believe. It needs a lot of work, yes. It needs the right people to speak to, it needs the right people to motivate you. And when that shield is around you, believe me, and out of experience, I'm really like saying it, there is one, not even 1% that would really affect you. Just put the shield on, go ahead with your plans, go ahead with achieving your goals, and stay safe in your own little shield that you are building up.
Nice. And I can relate to my situation as well. Like when we have a tendency to look for the safety through other people, we seek their validation, we affirmation coming from them, appreciation coming from them. And there are different weight. Like the closer the person I love the most, the closest the person is, I value their word more than somebody who will be like passing me by and doing saying something negative doesn't matter to me because I don't know them. Right. So it's a place like it's a very difficult situation to separate what they said from who they
Mm,
are. So it's not about
mm.
the person, it's more about what they have said. And it's more about my safety within myself so that I can protect, not absorbing what they said. I like the two dimension of your thinking. One, the safety has to be around me, built by myself, is not from other people. And second, what they say is not them, is about the word. So I'll not think who the person is, do I love them, how could they say this to me. So it's more about this word doesn't resonate, so I will rather have a safeguard around me so I feel safe inside of my thought process.
And just to add one more thing, with everything we're discussing about negative thoughts or negative comments from others or their own point of view about us, it does hurt, and this hurt creates a stress. So, if you are a person like really choosing to stand up for yourself and stand up for yourself, back to my chapter, you choose like really, you don't want this feeling. Like you refuse to have this feeling. You don't want this feeling. It's just like also adding more stress to you. So once you decide, you really need to decide what do you want out from this process. Are you really trying to reduce the stress? Are you trying to stay safe in your own zone? You really need to work towards that. It's not like only come and talk about it. You really need to follow a strategy within yourself to keep yourself safe, because you don't want this to happen. So you really need to work towards achieving it.
And what could be the shortest strategy that you're going to suggest?
I believe you cannot do the change about anything negative that is part of your memory. So whenever the brain is really trying to think about a memory and trying to avoid it, that's also causing more stress. So the positive side of your thinking needs to be telling you that I'm not going to delete my story. I am going to change my attitude and my behavior towards it. That's exactly how the process goes, because your story is there. It's not going to change. Nobody's going to delete it. The bad memories, the negative vibes, the bad people, the bad words, they are there. It's only your approach and how do you receive it that's going to be the part that you will really be working on. So I believe it's only you. You need to shed the light on how you view things and how to create inside your thoughts a different part and a different way from how it's usually going on day by day.
And I want to read a few lines that you just mentioned exactly I can relate to. Like you said, the first shift was subtle, but it mattered. I began withdrawing my energy from places where it was constantly demanded but rarely returned, seeking from you, not giving anything in return. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped overextending to preserve comfort, mine or anybody else's. I didn't announce these changes, I simply made them. And I stayed with the discomfort that followed. And that discomfort was real. So it's not easy. We're not saying that it will be just once or twice you practice and it'll be done. And I can sense that you literally mentioned that having that discomfort is something we need to accept.
Definitely. And, in general, I believe success is not measured by achievements anymore. It's really measured by the impact and how many times you have tried and how many experiences you have faced that would really help you to improve and to stay true to your own values along the way. So, we sometimes choose the path, or like you choose what you want, but still, you cannot predict what's going to be throughout the journey. There might be anything can come up, any type of people that you can meet, or any different characters you might meet, and then they might have a good positive or a negative impact on you. Still, to have this success happen, or to stand up on your own feet and not needing any help from anyone, I believe it's all about impact. It's what the impact this journey is going to bring to you, and
Mhm.
what efforts you're going to be putting in that really stays with your own values, because that's the first starting point. You have values you're going to follow, you have a target you're going to achieve, and then you really need to set your head on that.
Like self worth, self value is the grounding space to start with. And you wrote nicely,
Yes.
like, I trusted my judgment, not because I felt certain, but because I learned I could live with the outcome of my choices. So independence stopped meaning isolation and began meaning stability. Yes, we feel isolated when you start ignoring other people because they will be keep talking on that negative things. They're not improving themselves, but I have to shield myself. And I realized that at that moment the only feelings we may have is isolation, right? So it's a very uncomfortable place to be alone with yourself, if you define it in that way. But you just rightly said that independence stopped the meaning of isolation and began the meaning of stability. It's not isolation, it's stability within ourselves.
Exactly. We hear a lot of comments and a lot of words that are very used nowadays. It's called someone would come up to you and tell me, um, help me to understand myself, or what is self worth, or what is self love. These are just words that people sometimes also misunderstand or mislead and follow. They are not words, they are like really a big job to be done. So, writing that chapter, it was not only to fill in the lines, it was really reflecting exactly what I have experienced. I chose me, yes, I chose me after many disappointments. I chose me after how many times or falls, you can say. It's not every step was meant to be successful, but I had to learn things in the hard way, let's say, which put me in a position to build up more of my strength. And
Yes.
always say knowledge is really powerful. Like, you really need to to dig into things and understand what do they mean before using those words. And having the purpose, if you really have the purpose, you really want to empower, you really need to guide people. And some people maybe are born as givers. Let's put it this way. I've, I've learned like really to give, and I really have zero expectations for anything in return. That maybe helped me a bit, but at some points it was painful because I came to understand that there are some stages when it comes to self love or self worth journey that I will be passing through. So, first, you really need to plan. You really need to know what is your goal, what is exactly you really need to do. Second stage, you start to clean up, you start to clear up um, all the chaos, all the mess that you are really keeping as open ended, as they say. So it's not working. So we really need to cut this down. Either people, either plans, either job, you need to cut it down. The third stage, definitely it will be loneliness. You will feel lonely for some time, and it's not bad because you really start to reflect. And this is an opportunity, I believe, to reflect on what happened and how you want things to happen in the future. So, loneliness is not bad. It's something good for a short period of time, yes, to be on your own, to handle things on your own, and explore yourself more. So, yeah, these are some stages we really need to pass through to reach to where we really want to be.
I can't agree more because often we do not do the one biggest thing, which is self-reflection. We get so busy with so many notification. This is happening in this channel, that Netflix and this and that. We have so many options. We can switch from one place to another place, and we always want to be updated. And the only thing that we do not do, the self-reflection. And I can reinforce the importance of self-reflection enough if somebody is in a journey of self-development. To develop
Yeah.
yourself, it is a must to do the self reflection. And you nicely put it all together, like understanding the purpose and going back and reconnecting with the purpose that will slowly develop the self trust, the way you said. And when I have the self trust, I'll have the self worth, and I'll be able to understand whatever other people are saying. These are just noise, these are not something that will validate my worth or my self trust. So having that shield is not a defense, is safety zone, safety and stability within ourselves. There are so many way people are developing content and sharing this information, saying that the put your guard up is more like, am I just fighting with other people? Is the approach is more narcissistic? Is not about self-worth anymore, is going to a negative direction. And sometimes it's too much self-absorbed, and we try to pretend like I'm on the pedestal and I don't look at other people. We have that sort of egocentric behavior developed. So my question, or I'm curious to know, how can we have a balance between being self-content but not egocentric?
Um, Okay, I have a very small philosophy that I really believe in, and I would love to share it with you. Now, between the self and the egoistic part, you need to master three areas. You need to really tell yourself that I have this body, I have this mind. But what is missing is, are we balancing between mind, body, and having that balance between the three of them? So it's mind, it's body, it's balance. Egoistic is more as a one-sided thought or one-sided mental area that people might like really feel a bit like more selfish, more that they are the best or they are on top of this world and they can do everything. But as a very normal person who really would love to improve in life and to set up goals and achieve them, I believe we really need to put these three areas equally. It's the mind, mentally. We need to be very stable, very calm, very understanding of what we are doing, of our actions. Body is any physical activity or your health. This is another part that is huge, that really connects with your mental health. So it's mental health, it's physical health, and finding the balance between them that really would shape you better than only thinking that I am only looking after myself. Okay, how do you look after yourself? How? You really need to connect your mental health, your physical health, and finding the balance in between them. Therefore, your choices become very sustainable rather than having them only temporary choices. There is another way to see ourselves. So we are mental health, we are physical health, we are finding the balance between both.
And when you're too much on our mind, then we have,
Mm,
I believe we have a tendency to develop self-judgment, ego, all the reason, the thing is missing is the body alignment. And that is where
mm,
probably the emotion, the feelings, the body, do I feel good, like mental well-being comes in. If we have a balance, then we cannot behave through ego. Like
yeah.
ego will not work anymore. I love that powerful takeaway. If you suggest somebody who wants to develop the self mastery, what
Mhm.
could be one habit that you may recommend them to start building?
Reflecting. I really believe a lot in self reflection. It helped me a lot in my life and in my journey, whether on the fitness journey, whether on the mental health journey, and in different aspects in my life. So it's we can make it as a habit and as part of our day. So let's say example, I finish like teaching some of my group exercise classes and I leave. I do this reflection that how did the class go today? What was missing? How can I improve next week? Um, Even if there were like negative things going on, or if I wasn't at my normal, let's say, or my maximum level that I wanted, I would also tell myself what were the reasons. So I really need to reflect, because if I feel disappointed about myself not being or giving like 100%, I really need to tell myself what are the reasons, because nobody's going to come and tell me. So this self reflection between me and myself is very important. It's very important in every aspect in life. Even with a small discussion with a friend, something went wrong or something went good. Self reflection is not only to reflect on the bad things, it's also reflecting on the good things. Coming back to myself and having this really good connection with myself is very important. So, reflection is important. I know we hear the word a lot when it comes to meditation. What do
Oh,
people think about meditation? They just think that we close our eyes and we spend a couple of minutes and just like doing nothing, just breathing. To meditate, it doesn't only improve you physically, it does improve you mentally, reduces your stress, and gives you a window to be able to continue. As
mm,
simple as that. So you've got to pick up like some of the any minutes or hours throughout your day. Take a quiet time for you to really block everything away, devices, internet, emails, messages, everything. Just really block everything down. Even 10 minutes would really make a big difference, because most of people nowadays, okay, I'm stressed out, I'm anxious, I'm feeling panicked, I'm like, I'm not being myself. You hear these words a lot every single
yes.
day. So let's give the self the window to breathe. So you got to breathe. people. You cannot keep going and going on the same level throughout the day. Like, even some people miss out sleeping, and sleeping is very important, which really regulates your brain and your heart, your body, everything. So, yeah, I believe meditation and self reflection and also movement. You got to move. I don't want to forget this biggest part is like, you don't need to be an athlete to master the fitness part, but every single progress every day would make a very big difference in you.
Beautiful. I'm checking my boxes. Am I doing this enough? Am I doing this enough? One of the last time I was doing the self
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
is true. And when I was mostly in confusion and I'm not sure whether I'm doing well or not, taking a new role or lecturing for a new place, I do that more often for first few weeks and then I don't do this. So I'm also observing, oh, this is not good. So I have to sustain doing this small thing in a regular basis so I don't stop growing. It's a continuous, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can think like this is a non-negotiable, like self-reflection, movement, and meditation. So mentally we are aligning movement physically, and definitely the meditation will mental and physical alignment. So then we can rise above what who we are. So that will be my next question. So how do you define rising?
How do I define rising? I can say it's letting or leaving away the comfort zone. I can say this is one definition. Entering the spot, so
Hmm.
it's like leaving away the comfort zone and entering under your own spotlight or the goal that you have really set up earlier. And once you rise, it's not as I said, like, it's not considered any type of success is not only about the achievements, it's about how much you really invest in yourself.
Mhm.
So that would be maybe my definition. I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
I love it. Like a spotlighting yourself. It means I can see me, I can see what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. I can do the self-reflection and I can understand how do I navigate myself to the direction that I want to go. And that is
Hmm.
definitely not has to be a comfortable place to start. It has to start with the place of discomfort.
Hmm.
And as a scholar, as a practitioner, as a walk, the talk, the personality, the role model of well-being and fitness and psychology, so many depth you have in your expertise. So I would like to know if somebody comes to you, like somebody who loves you comes to you and have some time with you, how would they define you? Who are you?
um Look, this is the most word that I hear is, she is my coach. So that's maybe mainly what people call me. Or now recently, everyone is using doctor, and I'm trying to get used to it. But yeah, she's my coach. So if you look at coach, it really has everything under it, whether on a mental health coaching or on fitness coaching or nutrition coaching. So the coach is the guide, I can say, and this is something I really love to do. It's really something I enjoy doing, and believe it or not, Aisha, it's the moment I sit with my clients or with my patients. It's the moment that really disconnects me from everything else, and it really recharges me. I don't know if this makes sense, but this
Yeah.
is how I feel. Yeah. So the coach.
Beautiful. It's more like a place of serving to them for them. I am not here. I'm not my designation, my recognition, my achievement, my doctor, the title doesn't come in front of me or between me and my client. Is more about doing this for them, that service oriented mindset. Yeah, when I was listening to you and the way you are explaining it, it speaks that you are a coach by blood, or I don't know, like it's your personality which is explaining, giving a sense that you are a coach, you are a giver, you are genuinely, you love to give to other people that may help them.
I know the journey was long, and maybe I've known people for a very long time, so they would be better to speak it and share it more, because there are some individuals that really, maybe I know every family member, because those women have started with me maybe exercising first, and then we went on a personal coaching, whether on nutrition, whether on mental health, whether on family bonding. And then also they got pregnant, and I met their babies, and I met their kids, and the kids grew up. So it's like becomes beyond only like coaching in a session, it becomes really bonding. And this is what I really like about my work, that I really respect everyone. And creating a safe place specifically for women is not easy, because as women, like, you really need to feel safe, sharing your thoughts, sharing your the goods and the bads, and your struggles. It's not easy for any woman to come up and speak up and share her thoughts. So creating this safe place where people can come and speak was not easy, but
Yeah,
it was worth it, I can say. Yeah.
I can see the light when you said it's worth it. It's a hard work
Yeah.
to create a space like that.
Yeah.
It's a hard work, like to put together and make it happen and make them feel the way you want them to feel. But it's a worth investing your time and your energy. So when you get somebody who are not dealing with any big negative situation, but they want to see themselves in a different version of themselves, like they envision to become, let's say they are in a work, full-time work, they want to see themselves as an entrepreneur, or they want to run
Mhm.
their own business, so they want to shift their identity, shift their the future to the future version of themselves. Is there is anything that you want to suggest to them?
The first thing I would really like allow them to focus on, or like really advise them to focus on, is their mental health. It's There is nothing that doesn't start or finish but from mental health. So if you are like really having your own mindset on any decision you really need to achieve in your life, you need to be aware. You need to have the awareness about what you are deciding on. You need to have build up some confidence, more confidence about your decisions, and become more knowledgeable with the relationships and with different types of personalities or characters that they meet. So that also goes back to mental health. I think people really need to relax mentally in order to achieve anything they want to share as well.
It's a very hard, but it's a very sweet spot. Like mentally be ready before we jump into the decision, before we take a new role, before we learn new skill and immediately try to implement. But mentally, I don't have enough space to think through. I don't have enough space to process the way I will be dealing with the whole different thing. I agree.
Yeah.
Like it's such a like enlightening thought for me as well. Now, my question will be related to my theme. Like I promote in Mindspeed saying the leadership is not only the way we act or behave, it's about alignment between the brain, heart, and nervous system. So if I may ask you, what does it mean to you?
The mind is, it means everything. Everything starts from your thoughts. And then, let's say, what made me come in writing, standing on my own, I stopped asking myself, am I good enough? And rather, I started like asking, how can I serve? So this shift in my brain and in my focus from seeking validation to creating an impact is very important. So the brain, everything starts from the brain.
Mm-hmm.
When it goes to the heart, it is felt first. It gives you the comfort, and whatever are in your mind can be transferred to the heart, and returning this, like, you bring it out to the world. So I mean, earning this feeling is not also easy, because not every thought can really make you feel something deep inside of you. You got many thoughts, like, or a chaos going on in your brain, but feeling some of them and having this will, or this energy to do what you really want to do, is really felt. I believe it starts here and then it goes in here. So that's the heart. And the nervous system, it's my best part, and I love talking about because it connects both, and it connects everything in your body. And as we all know, I mean, we have this major nerve that connects the brain with the entire body. We call it the vagus nerve. Um, it makes so many people like question, is there a relationship between anxiety or stress and my gut health? Yes, there is, because it is connected. So that's exactly the same about the thoughts that we throw into our brain and is received by our nervous system. It's all reflected on the body and on the heart and on the brain.
Beautiful. I can see the dance, like the way you explained about the mindset and well-being, the meditation, self-reflection, and it
Yeah.
work together. When we do the self-reflection inside of the brain, that has to come through our heart. So we accept that, and that our body will be also taking it positively, our gut feeling to do something, to be excited. So all these feelings comes together in an alignment when we can have a proper balance between everything, like the way you said. So I will read a few lines from the last few lines from the chapter where you said,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that, and I want everybody to listen to that as well, because
Okay.
standing on my own taught me something lasting. I can trust the difference in once tried to manage. I can move forward even when the path isn't clear. I can rise not by declaration, but by decision. So I sense the power like decision, and it's a lasting, and it's something that I own, that I do not try to manage. Um, I love that part.
Thank you. I mean, as I started, like I mentioned that I really learned from disappointments and to rebuild. So when I say decision, I mean there is no going back. So I'm really only looking forward, because that was a decision. And if I really decide, I'm not going to change my mind. So that's exactly how I wanted really to put it in words and include it in my chapter.
I love the mindset behind making a movement. And I can see that you understand the whole 360 dimension of the decision we make, and how that will be taken through the body and through your heart, and how do you align yourself. I would like you to tell me, if somebody who are listening, if they want to connect with you, what will be the best way to connect with you?
Okay, I am on Instagram and on LinkedIn. It's Roula Saleh, just exactly the name I have on the chapter. And I do work closely as a partner with a very small, young, growing up business. It's called Fit and Flourish. They are also on Instagram. And the method that we work on is body, mind, and balance. So that's how it was mentioned. And yeah, this is how we can connect.
So beautiful. Dr. Rola. Thank you so much. I think we can
You're
spend
welcome.
like hours talking on this area. I'm so fascinated to understand how everything works, and especially the well-being part that fascinates me the most, because we know we all are
Yeah.
busy. We are professionally challenged in different environment to survive or to grow, but at the same time we have to prioritize our well-being. And this is where you
Mm-hmm.
come in. And I love every single thing that you said. And I also
Thank
pointed what I will be doing, my self-reflection more often.
you.
So much, Dr. Rolla. I will add your Instagram link and your website link with the post so anybody can look at and connect with you. Thank you so much for
Sure.
such a beautiful conversation for today. And I enjoy learning from you. And I welcome everybody who are also willing to learn a little bit more around well-being, brain, heart, and nervous system, how we can bring all of them together in our leadership.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Aisha. Pleasure to be with you today as well.